Hey guys, I chose Brexit and its impact on the British economy for this video. And I chose this topic because it is one of the most contemporary pieces of news these days. Official documents released by the government and the Bank of England suggest that Brexit can have adverse impacts upon the British economy. According to the Brexit deal that was formulated by Theresa May, the United Kingdom would be worse off in all the possible scenarios. The Bank of England predicts that the plan could result in new trade barriers that can cause the British economy to be 0.75% smaller. The National Institute for Economic and Social Research has also predicted that these trade barriers can discourage future investments. Analysis has shown that the British economy would also be 4% smaller by 2030 under Theresa May's deal. Brexit's impact upon the different British industries is also evident. Many British businesses import their goods and raw materials from other EU countries like Germany. Since the free trade between the UK and the EU will no longer be applicable after Brexit, the cost of supplying goods from other EU countries will spike up. Brexit will also introduce higher taxes and tariffs, which will further increase the operating costs of British businesses and decrease their profits. Along with businesses, factors such as employment and labour are also expected to be impacted. According to statistics, the unemployment rate in the UK is likely to increase to 6.5%. This equates to a loss of almost 500,000 jobs. Britain's fashion industry heavily relies upon international trade and a pool of foreign workers from the EU. With Brexit due to happen in a few months' time, the £28 billion sector faces a grim future. Richard Lim, chief executive of Analyst Retail Economic, has predicted that in worst-case scenario, clothing and footwear tariffs could reach as high as 11%. Richard Lim has also released a statement saying that irrespective of what Brexit turns out to be, the price of a pair of jeans will rise in all likeliness. English fashion designers like Catherine Hamnet are also setting up companies in other European Union countries like Italy. This is allowing the designers to handle logistics and production in other countries while avoiding the complicated effects of Brexit back in Britain. Cancel Brexit t-shirts are also being created to express a resentment amongst the fashion industry. No wonder 90% of the designers told the British Fashion Council that they voted to remain in the European Union. Financial services in Britain are extremely vital to its economy. Financial services bring in $248 billion into Britain every year and represent 12% of the British economy. For a very long time, London has been the financial capital of the EU. Major banks and financial corporations had their headquarters in London, from where they offered services to the rest of the EU. However, now, banks are looking to relocate their headquarters to other locations in the EU, such as Frankfurt. Morgan Stanley, for example, has chosen Frankfurt as a second financial hub. Post Brexit, London could lose 20,000 financial services, 10,000 banking jobs, and the removal of $2.1 trillion out of the country. However, the much anticipated Brexit deal has failed to gain the support of the members of the British Parliament. On the 15th of January of this year, the members of Parliament of the House of Commons rejected Theresa May's Brexit deal. The deal, which set out the terms of Britain's exit from the EU on the 29th March of 2019, was rejected by a massive 230 votes. Britain is still set to exit from the EU on 29 March, and an exit without an organized deal can cause a lot of harm to the British economy. The government has stated that leaving without a deal will result in the British economy being 7.7% smaller for at least 15 years after Brexit. Not only this, but a disorderly exit can also cause the value of pound to slump by as much as 25%.